Hello everyone. Today is day 19 of the 28-day Team Heart Life Facebook challenge that I'm participating in. It is also step 6 of the 7 steps for an ultra brain. Hi Teresa, thanks for joining. So today I want to talk about mitochondria, because step 6, according to Dr. Bredesen, Dr. Hyman, all of these doctors that are really into Alzheimer's research, they say that it is absolutely essential to boost your mitochondria production. So what the heck is a mitochondria? When I first started learning about all of this stuff, I didn't know what any of this stuff was. And to be quite honest, I really sucked at science. So learning all of this science is a stretch for me. It's really taken me out of my comfort zone. But I'm willing to recognize that I don't understand everything about, and especially about the human body, and that I'm willing to learn. So you might not know what mitochondria is. That's okay. If you don't know what mitochondria is, I didn't know what it was either. And because we're talking about something so important in your body, I've got notes and I'm going to read them because I don't want to misquote it, because it is scientific, and I want to make sure that you understand it the way that I'm coming to understand it, so that I'm not teaching you something wrong. So mitochondria is the cells, is in the cells throughout our body, and it's responsible for creating 90% of the energy needed to sustain life and support organ function. So pretty important, right? When your mitochondria malfunctions, your organs start to fail. That's when you get sick, and that's when you die. So nobody wants mitochondrial failure. Nobody. Mitochondria is present literally in every single cell in the body except red blood cells. Red blood cells are the only thing it is not present in. So when you're talking about how important mitochondria function is, it is literally every cell in your body has it, and you need to make sure that it is functioning well. So let's see. So when your mitochondria fails, you have less and less energy being created in the cell. So think about, most people describe the mitochondria as the, like the powerhouse in the cell. It's where all the energy comes from in your cell, right? But the thing that they don't get is that the mitochondria does way more than power your cells. It's so involved in our function. So it's involved in the heart, the brain, the muscles, the lungs, and those 4 things right there require the greatest amount of energy, right? Your brain being the biggest energy sucker in your body. It's the smallest as far as what it does as far as size, but it literally sucks up 3 times the amount of energy as anything else in your body. So mitochondria is super important for brain health. So when you're having malfunctioning mitochondria, it's super hard to detect because it shows up differently in every single individual. So everyone's going to have some kind of a different symptom or a different outcome. So they might not even think that has anything to do with your mitochondria. So it's just best to do the things you need to do to have good mitochondria, just because if it's an underlying cause in things and you've addressed it, then you don't have to worry that that's what's happening. So the conventional teaching in biology and medicine is that mitochondria function is they're just your energy factories in the cell. That's an oversimplification. of what it does. So I'm going to read to you, because this is the part where it's scientific, and I really don't want to screw this part up. I want you to get this part. So it takes 3,000 genes to make a mitochondrion. Mitochondria DNA encodes just 37 of these genes. The remaining genes are encoded in the cell's nucleus, and the resulting proteins are then transported to mitochondria. Only 3% of the genes necessary make a mitochondrion and are allocated for making ATP, which is the energy in our body. More than 95% are involved with other functions tied to the specialized duties of the different cells in which it resides. So these other functions are involved, so intimately involved with most of the major metabolic pathways used by the cell to build, break down, and recycle its molecular building blocks. Cells cannot make RNA or DNA that they need to grow or function without mitochondria. It's required to make hemoglobin. In the liver, mitochondria is part of the detoxification process of ammonia in the urea cycle. Mitochondria is required for cholesterol metabolism, for estrogen and testosterone synthesis, for neurotransmitter metabolism, and for free radical production and detoxification. And they do all of this as well as breaking down the fat, the proteins, the carbohydrates that we eat and drink. So mitochondria is super important in our body, which is why it's step 6 of building an ultra brain, because your brain is super dependent on mitochondrial function, and you need to make sure that it's functioning at its optimum. So how are you going to do that, right? Well, part of what I do, and one of the pages that I operate, is called Nutrigenomics and the Alzheimer's Connection, because it's about nutrigenomics is the study of how food impacts and can change our DNA. And it is a growing field of study in the medical world and becoming really the hot topic of conversation in the medical world. So epigenetics and nutrigenomics. So I focus primarily on the brain because my mother has Alzheimer's, and brain health is super important to me because I don't want my mom's story to be my story or my children's story or my grandchildren's story. So I'm trying to learn now how to have a better brain so that I don't have to have the same experiences because of a genetic history. So part of that is learning how food impacts the brain. Well, in specific, today I'm going to share with you a few foods that impact mitochondria. So mitochondria nutrients, the things that really fortify mitochondria, are CoQ10, carnitine, alpha lipoic acid, acetylcysteine, ribose, B6, B12, vitamin D, and zinc. So those are nutrients that you can take that all will help boost that mitochondria. And then there's specific foods that boost mitochondria. So lemons, limes, pink salts like Himalayan pink salt, turmeric, rosemary, ginger, oregano, cinnamon, cloves, and cilantro. So adding those few things into your spices, into your cooking, will actually help boost your mitochondria production, which is important. And something that I just wanted to share is that Dr. Angela Poff made a statement that really kind of put me on a whole different journey, which is a ketogenic way of eating, because I learned by studying brain health that the ketogenic way of eating is actually the best way to support brain health, because your brain needs the fats, so it's high fats, but the good fats, and she says that stimulating mitochondria and eating ketogenic is showing it can reactivate the brain. So just think about that for a minute. If someone is struggling and they're having issues and they're having problems mentally with their brain, stimulating your mitochondria and eating ketogenic can reactivate your brain. That's huge. That's super, super important. The other thing, we have a product that is an NRF1 activator, and its primary function is to boost your mitochondria production. That's what it does. And believe me, when you start to take these products and you're on in the NRF2 and then you add the NRF1, you can feel a difference. You can feel that your body is doing something different. And, you know, some people get on it and at the very beginning they get on it and they kind of have an energy crash. Well, it's because your body is trying to switch and adjust. It's trying to create a new way of functioning because it's gotten used to the old way. And so it kind of goes through this lull and then it ramps up and picks up. And you do feel better energy, more energy, and your cells have the energy they need to be healthy. So, you know, today's going to just kind of be this short, simple, sweet, topic on boosting your mitochondria. You can boost it through some foods and seasonings. You can boost it through some natural supplementations. We have an NRF1 product that boosts mitochondrial production. So if you're interested in that, tag me, let me know. I'd be happy to share it with you. But this is step 6. And if you've missed any of the previous videos, I've been doing them all week, every day since Monday. And each one is a different step on brain health and how you can have better brain health. And tomorrow will be step 7 of the 7 steps for an ultra brain. So please join me to watch that tomorrow. And I look forward to talking to you guys tomorrow on Sunday. I hope you guys have a relaxing Saturday and get anything accomplished that you want to get accomplished. And I will see you guys tomorrow.